The trouble with the company is these days they've got too many of these staff-wise guys right out of management schools in the vice president's office. They look at the title on their door and they get power crazy. They like to tell you what to do, but they just don't understand the problems we have out here.
They are only doing what the Vice President for Finance wants them to do. Kerry, listen, they are very bright people. You think they'd be in those jobs if they weren't?
Sure they are. That's why they do things like what happened this morning. My project is going over budget a little bit, so this kid tells me I've got to cut back. Cut back? Why, I'm funded for next year 25% more than this year. The project is taking off, but I'm over budget because we ran into a couple of problems that we hadn't figured on. Other than that, we're on target. So this staff kid comes and tells me that I've got to transfer people to another project.
Transfer? Can't you find the money elsewhere?
Oh, certainly. I suppose I could lease some of our equipment to another company. Yeah, right. Listen, you guys know what a product development project is all about? 90% of my budget is personnel, so the only choice I have is to cut personnel costs. And that means permanent transfers out of this project. You know, the company policy on transfers. No phony paperwork transfers just to make budget. So I can't hire them back in 4 months. I've got to transfer productive people off the project permanently. It's crazy. So next year, I bring 20 brand new people and lose at least 6 months while they learn the job. Plus, the new people I'm budgeted for anyways. Go ahead, go ahead. Tell me that makes sense.
Maybe you shouldn't have gotten into budget trouble in the first place?
Thanks for the advice.
Ted, why is something so wasteful to the company like Gary having to transfer his people allowed to happen?
I take it you're aware that I've been on that financial staff side myself. Here's what happens. You've seen Kerry's problem. But you've seen it only from his viewpoint, the viewpoint of the individual program manager. But every program director in the company is the same. They all have something they want to do very badly. They all figure that stretching their budgets won't hurt anything. And they all have the same story. You'll kill me, they say. I'm on the verge of the biggest breakthrough in 20 years. And all I'm asking for is a lousy $900K. There are hundreds of these people out there. But there's only one of you.
Well, okay, I see what you're saying, Ted, but we both know what's going on with Kerry. He's got a good case.
Sure, some of them are right, and you do have a few dollars to play with for overtaxed budgets. But when you're working out the vice president's office, it just isn't possible to know the details of every project. And as Kerry likes to say, you just don't have time to separate the unfortunate from the incompetent. Every one of those bandits is very convincing. And what's more, just like Kerry, they all genuinely believed they were right. And remember, there's no secrecy in this business. Now if I do give him what he's asking for, or at least most of it, I won't tell anyone, and Kerry most likely won't either. But within a day or two, I guarantee it, every manager that I've successfully held to budget will be on the horn, trying to reopen his case. So now what do I tell them? So my position has to be this. I'm working for the Vice President of Finance, and my job is finance, the budget. Only one thing is expected of me, make the budget. Now if I don't, and that gets my boss in trouble with Mr. Marsh, well, I don't think I have to tell you the rest.
Just finished my paper on the reliability problem. I'm going to send it off to the journal this afternoon.
That's great. Communications okayed it with no trouble.
Who?
Communications is the department responsible for the company's media image. Before anything flows out from company employees, it has to be approved.
But there's nothing proprietary on my paper.
Well, then you've got nothing to worry about, but you still must have it approved.
It's incredible, they won't let me send this out. One of those idiots in communications said that it wouldn't look good for the company to admit that it has reliability problems with the Model M machine.
I don't blame them. Why did you put something like that in your paper?
But I didn't. I didn't say anything like that. Here, see for yourself.
A note on reliability analysis for certain machines of the Mode M class with relaxed restrictions and the allowable distribution parameters, must be exciting.
So this guy says, I don't think we should say that because it seems to me that this implies we have reliability problems with our Model M and that certainly won't help the company. Well, it was clear to me that he didn't know the first thing about any of this, so I told him. Look, the company wants us to publish papers like this, and it's good for our reputation, not bad.
What did he say to that, Stan?
He said, that's for me to judge, not you. And I can't see how saying that our products are unreliable is going to help anything. But I'm not trying to be difficult. And by the way, I am on the committee to encourage technical publications. Tell you what, you rewrite this and take out all the references to reliability, and I guarantee that we'll put them through.